Today we're taking a look at the Spartan case from Poetic. This case is for the Samsung S23 Ultra. I reached out to Poetic to send over a couple of cases for testing because I used them on my S22 Ultra and they were pretty nice. The Spartan case is one of the beefier, more ruggedly built, and aggressive looking case options. This case features a main case backing with two different interlocking screen frame options. You can choose from the open frame with no screen protector or the frame with a built-in screen protector. Since both screen options interlock with the main case all around the perimeter of the phone, this makes for a very strong case assembly. It's super unlikely that these types of interlocking cases are going to split apart or break when they are dropped. With a hard plastic frame only, you run the risk of the plastic frame just shattering or cracking when it gets dropped. And with a rubber only case, you might not have the rigidity that you need for those hard drops. The Spartan case from Poetic has both of these features to protect your phone. This case also features a raised lip at the top and the bottom of the case. This will prevent the screen from being the first part of the phone that impacts a flat surface. Since the lips on the top and the bottom of the case extend all the way to the corners of the case, this means that no matter which angle your phone impacts the ground or a flat surface, the screen is not going to touch when the phone falls flat. The screen will always be lifted a few millimeters higher than either of the top or bottom lips. You can actually slide a couple of business cards under the screen when it lays flat on a surface, which is awesome to see. There's a bit of extra material around each of the corners to help reinforce the case durability and absorb fall damage. The top and the bottom, as well as the sides, are sufficiently thick enough to protect the phone when it hits the ground, especially at those bad angles. We've all been there and our phone has tumbled out of our hands, and even more terrifyingly, onto a concrete surface. This does ultimately end up adding a little bit more bulk and weight to the overall case and phone combination, but it's well worth it in my opinion. In terms of the button feel for this case, the screen wake and volume buttons were pretty good. They weren't too hard to press in or too soft, somewhere in the middle, which is really what I like. The USB-C cover flap is a great thickness and it looks like it's going to be strong enough to hold up over the lifetime of your phone. It was relatively easy for me to plug in the USB cable and remove it, so that's good. The speaker and mic cutouts are a good size and I had no trouble with calls, anyone hearing me, or any type of music playing when I was streaming. The S Pen was easily ejectable and reinsertable, which is good. The opening for the S Pen is definitely large enough and it does have some rigidity. In terms of the way that this case feels in your hands, it's solid. It has a good amount of weight and it's definitely not going to slip out of your hand. In part, that's because the sides of the case are nice and grippy and the back side of the case isn't slippery like those rubber or neoprene type cases. This case also comes with a kickstand built in, which is awesome for watching videos. When I'm working on long projects, I can kick out the kickstand and flip my phone on its side and play a video. This is nice because a lot of times when I'm working on stuff, I have to lay the phone down flat when I don't have a kickstand, which makes it harder to watch the video as I'm walking around the room. As for the look of the Spartan case, the whole case looks and feels aggressive in my opinion. I like the textured design elements on the back side of the case as well. I really like the screen protector option that's included. I would definitely run the frame option with the built-in screen protector on my phone. The screen protector material seems thick enough to hold up to your everyday type of abuse, things like scratches from keys or just simple drops from the floor or your desk or anything like that. I had no issues when I tested the Fingerprint Reader. This is probably thanks to the fingerprint stamp, as Poetic calls it. This is inserted in the built-in screen protector right over where your thumbprint or fingerprint would go. I didn't actually have to end up rescanning my thumbprint after installing the screen protector, so that's awesome to see. If you opt for the open frame instead of the frame version with the built-in screen protector, it's still going to form a very strong interlock case option. This way you have the option to run no screen protector, or you could supply your own. You could either use one of the plastic film types or a tempered glass option. I always recommend tempered glass. After all, this is an S23 Ultra. Now that we talked about the the screen, we'll talk about the camera protection. The thickness of the camera cutout and the amount that it raises the cameras off of a flat surface is quite good. The cutout has a very large bezel, which should provide decent rigidity and strength to that side of the case. You're going to end up getting a couple of millimeters worth of clearance to separate the camera lens from any flat surface when the phone falls. So that's definitely what I like to see. The cameras on a smartphone these days are a huge selling point and feature that you definitely want to make sure are protected somehow. Overall, I really like the Poetic Spartan case. It's beefy, and it's definitely going to absorb quite a bit of fall damage instead of your S23 Ultra. If you're more active or prone to dropping your phone, you might like this style of case. I would definitely recommend the Poetic Spartan to you. Poetic did, however, send over a few other cases, so I'll be testing those on the S23 Ultra as well. If you're into smartphone and mobile tech videos, make sure that you get subscribed to the channel and like this video. That way YouTube will definitely keep recommending these to you. If you know anyone interested in the S23 or looking for case reviews in general, definitely feel free to share this with them too. Until the next one, check out my recent video and the best video for you.